We're live. Welcome to an introductory episode of something we don't know what's going to evolve into yet. It is a human personification of all the gear and no idea. My name is Cameron.
My name is Matthew.
And we're two 28-year-old white boys that decided to start a AFL/NBA related podcast.
That's right. You absolutely stole my intro. That's the only bit of pre-prepared content that I had was making a joke about how we're both 28-year-old men. And the inevitable circumstances is that, I turned 29 in less than a month, and I thought if I have any chance to start a podcast, it needs to be before then. Otherwise, it's not worth it for the memes.
So this is like point 5, getting to know us, non-edited, non-produced in the way of the following episodes will be, because I guess for people who have no idea who we are, which is 99.9% of people listening to this that aren't Lisa or Christopher Doyle or what are your parents' names?
Julie and Paul Sampson.
Yeah, who aren't those 4 humans. You won't have any idea who we are. So, g'day. We're two 28-year-old men from South Australia. Work together at a sporting club. That's how we met. We won't devolve.
Well, I mean, we're only like.
I'm nervous because I'm skipping around at Skip. That's what I'm doing.
We're halfway into the pilot episode, and you've already doxed both of us by giving away both of our parents' names, and ages.
Yeah, South Australia, and we worked together at a sporting club in the past.
I've lived a pained existence as a sports fan.
Yes.
If I lead into, I've been a Phoenix Suns fan my entire life, which I went through the life cycle that most people in Australia have done with sporting teams. That you first find out about the NBA and you go, which team is the coolest team? And I had Steve Nash, Amari Stoudemire, Sean Marion, 7 seconds or less, alley-oops, dunks, threes everywhere. I'm like, this is sustainable. And then immediately, I was 18 when the Suns last made the playoffs, and now we're very well established. We're both 28-year-old men. So it's been 10 years without any form of success.
Yeah, that's true. But you are looking so good coming into 2021 with the big old CP3. Are you excited about it? How excited are you from a scale from 1 to like, fuck yeah, we're going to make challenge for the tippity top?
I'm simmering. I'm a simmering Suns supporter based purely on that 10 years of pain that we've had, though. Like, 'cause the most exciting thing we've done is now trade for a 36-year-old small man who has a history of not owning hamstrings.
Yeah, no.
So, I'm pumped. I reckon the Suns are actually going to be good. The Suns are going to make the playoffs this year, which is, like I said, is the first time since I was a teenager that's happened. But it also could go tremendously wrong.
I don't know. I'm not about it. Mostly because you've sniffed too much of the bubble success cheese. Ain't no baby. So as has Suns Twitter, they got way too involved in it. Took it for too long. Too much of a ride. And I think you're all going to come crashing down. And it's going to be like you've lost the hottest boy in ball. He's gone to the Warriors.
We did. And
Kelly Oubre.
If I track back a second before we talk about how sexy Kelly Oubre is, I think that's the point of this meme cast that we're leaning into, is that if I had to ask you, what is the point of sport, what would you tell me?
It's about a competitive thing with your friends.
That is wrong.
Yeah, I've heard.
Okay, it's wrong. Sport is not about who wins. It's not about the score. It's not about being good at sport necessarily. The sport is purely about the memes.
Yeah, you are right. You are right.
And I, case in point, being a Phoenix Suns supporter for the last 10 years, why would I support a team that's no good?
What else have you got?
It's because it's the little small things. And one of those things that I'm crushed now by and has left is the fact that the Suns did have the sexiest man in basketball on the team in Kelly Oubre.
Is he any good? I don't even watch any Phoenix Suns games other than like the highlights of Devin Booker's 70-point game, and that's literally all I've seen in the last year and a half. Also, I don't know if I'm equipped for this podcast. In the way, if we're only going to be talking about NBA and AFL, which is Australia's game, I don't know if I know enough. It's something I'm genuinely worried about coming into this. And if we're going to last 7 episodes, I'm stressed.
I think that's why it's going to work, though. There's plenty of podcasts out there. If you want to listen to something and get some detailed statistical analysis of why Chris Paul's a good player or why Kelly Oubre is a good player,
go to The Ringer. Yeah, go to SB Nation. Go to ESPN.
Go anywhere but here. Really. Yeah. But if you want to know why Kelly Oubre is a cute boy, then here's your place.
Just kicking off, I know we're cutting the lunch of episode 1 for a bit more Mimi Con, but the fact that they used him as their poster boy for the City Edition jersey release,
Valley Boys,
and then just pissed him off to the Warriors, to Golden State, is hilarious.
It's probably the most NBA thing ever, isn't it?
Yeah, no.
He literally designed the jersey. He was there.
Did he design it?
I think he was heavily involved, and based just on the fact that when they released the jersey, he's there. He's got his full cowboy outfit on.
Why is that? No,
he's leading a horse.
Yes.
They look he's hopped out of a Lamborghini.
That's what I was going to say.
Horse.
What's the situation where you're driving your Lambo across dirt into a deserted town? Get off the Lamborghini. Well, get out the Lamborghini. You're not going to jack off the Lamborghini. You're going to get, and then you get on a horse to take it. You don't even ride the horse. You carry the horse.
We just need to look after it, you know?
I don't understand.
I don't think you're supposed to understand. Why are there tarantulas crawling over the jerseys as well?
Is there?
I've
only seen the 2 promo shots.
No, there's a whole video. It's for a video. It's con.
Is it? No, I've not seen any spicy con with the spicy boy. But he's in the Warriors now. They're going to go all right, the Warriors? I don't know. After Clay busted himself.
I don't know. We'll see.
That's my
They still have Steph Curry.
Take.
If you've got Steph Curry,
yeah, that's true.
Basketball's a sport where if you have at least one player who's good, the team is generally going to be good.
My team recently got his brother. I am such a, who can I go for 3 years ago? Because back in the day when I was really into NBA as a 13-year-old, as we all are, I was a big Warriors guy. We believe Warriors. Baron Davis is my favourite player of all time. And then I got back into it, and they were just winning all the time. I was like, I can't be seen as the bandwagon. So I looked around. I was like, where's an Australian that's decent? And then Ben Simmons was there, and I was like, yep.
So you want a Cavs fan? Do you want to jump on the Delhi train?
Nah. Only because his last name sounds like a delicious pasta. I'll have the creamy Delavadova, thanks.
Isn't there more of a reason to lean into it, though? No. Ben Simmons sounds like a guy that does your tax.
Yeah, he's really good at it.
Yeah, but let's talk through. There's something else I want to ask you about as well, though. Yeah. Is, you're a Philadelphia 76ers fan. You look around this delicious setup we have here, and there's only one piece of basketball memorabilia on display, and it's the
Wiz, baby!
It's a Rui Hachimura jersey. Talk us through that.
No, I have 2 teams. I feel like over the top, the last 3 years when I have been getting into NBA,
you couldn't last 3 years without adding a second team.
Yeah. I'm that much of a bandwagon. I don't know why I like the Wiz so much, and I think it's because of Rui. And when he got drafted, because I did the whole what people are coming into the NBA, did a little bit of research, love the way Rui went about it, that he's just a real poor man's Kawhi when Kawhi wasn't Kawhi, and he kind of not acts like Kawhi, he's just got a real cool demeanor about him, and he's huge in Japan, so I just the whole situation just really fed into what I was about. And then I really like Bradley Beal, and I actually started watching him. I like Davis Bertans. I don't know about John Wall. I'm pretty sure he's getting traded. I'm not sure.
He hasn't played basketball in 2 years.
3 years, isn't it? 2.5
years. More than in many years than he should be playing basketball for someone who makes $40 million a year.
Yeah, it's true. He's on a disgusting contract, but I just hope for the Lord of him that he doesn't get traded to Russell Westbrook with Russell Westbrook. So because I dislike the man that is Russell, only because he wears ridiculous outfits and I could never pull them off.
One thing we don't have for this podcast that we're apparently starting. Is we don't have a name. Do you want to get into names?
Fiddly-dee.
I've got a list of terrible names that, either sitting on the toilet, in the shower, ran out, grab my phone.
Yeah, I've got strong 2, so I reckon.
I've got no strong ones, but okay. I've got names. Do you want to hit yours while I
No. Do yours because you've got a cacophony of shit names, but this could be the name of our podcast as you are listening right here.
It's timely as well because we're in this very hot room that most of these are heat related.
Yeah.
So there's the Heat Check.
That's a YouTube channel that I follow.
I know, and that's another thing.
I do like Heat Check, but nah. Next.
The other one being that maybe we would do it in different spots all the time would be the spot up, like a spot up shooter.
I don't mind that. It sounds like we should know more than we do, though.
Well, when you get people to listen to it,
that's a drama. Sorry, Mum, I don't know much about NBA, but here I am.
The peak of originality. What about the Ball Boys?
It's been done. I swear it's been done. It has had to have been done.
This was the best one to see, and we talked about this another day, and we did the Google search has already been taken, but garbage time would have been the best one because this is absolute dribble that we're talking about.
Yeah, it's drib in the best way, but it's been taken a million times, and then we flipped it a little bit for garbage minutes.
Yep.
And that was quite fun, but that was one of my first ideas, which is why I've taken over. The other idea was emergency sub.
Emergency sub. Do we have someone come in with a vest on, like 3/4 of the way through?
Halfway through,
they might get off 2 takes and like, wow, he's had a good pod today.
Come off,
big
bro.
impact.
And then the guy comes in just real hot, just like, what are we talking about? Yeah.
Does that mean one of us have to leave as well?
Yeah, and then just John from up the road will come in and say, "G'day, what do we think about that Miami Heat? Thoughts? Emergency sub."
Emergency sub. I don't mind it. The other one that I had on my list is just the Hot Boys podcast.
You've got to give context. There's got to be some sort of situation that says this is what we kind of do, and we could do our working doc that we're working from today, which is Skippy Samboy and the Fat Vegos NBA and AFL memecast. Wordy, but kind of does describe who we are.
It probably passes a Google search though, whereas none of these do.
Yeah.
There's a lot of 28-year-old men out there. There's a lot of podcasts rolling around.
This is for you. We could do, this is now working title, but Borat is not actually just called Borat.
Continue.
Let me just quickly Google what Borat's actual title is. It's actually Borat Cultural Learnings of America for Make Benefit Glorious Nation of Kazakhstan and that's the whole thing. So we could be title, whatever title we decide, Skippy Samboy and the Fat Vegos NBA and AFL memecast. And I think
this is a cultural experience. So
yeah. Skippy Samboy being you, because we have 2 friends called Matt. One of the other Matt is an Italian man. You are an Australian man.
That's true.
Skippy Samboy being your last name, and I'm fat and I'm vegetarian. So that's how we came to that.
It's the peak of originality, really.
Yeah. So Skippy Samboy and the Fat Vegos NBA and AFL memecast. But what's the actual title? What's the Borat gonna be?
2 Hot Boys.
We can't call it 2 Hot Boys. It's got to be something.
I'm feeling like a hot boy right now.
Yeah, no.
Just in this sweatbox room.
Cooked fowls.
Is either that just 2 dudes and a cactus because you have a glorious cactus outside?
Yeah, but still, we've got to explain contextually what we're doing.
It's a no context podcast.
No context NBA exists.
That's true. That's true.
So we haven't decided a name. Stick with us as we continue this journey of Skippy Samboy and the Fat Vegos NBA and AFL memecast.